All right, questions for me?
After being away from the game for a while, are you finding a little bit of frustration in that maybe you can't do things as easily as you used to, or you think you should be able to?
No, I mean, I think coming back at first, it might have been like that just because being able to take contact and stuff like that when you have a shoulder injury like I had is the toughest part. But, you know, I've kind of gotten in the groove and gotten in the swing of things. It's obviously a little bit of rust in there. You know, I'm going to be working through my shoulder for a while. But it feels pretty good, and I feel pretty good going into the season.
Coach talked about it takes you about 20 minutes to really get your shoulder warmed up. What do you do to actually work the rust out of your shoulder and prepare for a game?
Sometimes I lift early on in the day, and then I spend a lot of time with Fred, and he stretches my shoulder, gets it loose, and then before the game it's all shots. And sometimes I'll throw some full court passes and baseball passes, overhead passes, stuff like that, just so I get that motion, that overhead motion, and then get a lot of shots up before the game.
What does it feel like before you do that? I mean, is it tight? Is it hurt? Is it?
Just sitting around, staying around, it doesn't bother me or anything like that. But if I try to go over my head without being loose, it would cause me some pain. You know, like anybody does before a game, they have to get ready to go. They have to stretch and warm up. You know, my warm up takes a little bit longer than other people's because of my shoulders. But like you said, 20 minutes. You know, I shoot the ball and throw some passes and get stretched out, and I feel good. I feel ready to go.
After sitting out last year, how excited are you to have a real game coming up on Sunday?
I am so excited. You know, it's been a long time, I think about a year and a half since I really prepared for a real game. And I'm so excited just to get out there and be able to compete again. And I don't have to compete against, you know, my own team. So it'll be good to get out there back on the floor and a real set.
Is there a different feel about this than the other two, even though you played in front of 20,000 people the other two? Is there still something different about this one?
It's not really that different. You know, we prepare the same way for this game as we did for the other two. But it is kind of like a wake up, you know, season is here and all these games mean a lot. So, you know, I'm sure it'll be an extra bit of intensity and we'll be ready to go.
How important is a fast start with this team? I mean, you've got some pretty heavyweight games coming up very early.
Absolutely. We started the year off right last year. We want to do the same thing. Obviously, you know, we want to be undefeated going into that Bahamas tournament and take care of business down there. So a fast start is very important, especially, you know, just to make sure everybody knows we're here and we're a good team and we're going to be ready to play.
You had a year of practice, so you've been around the guys. So how does it feel to come in as a relatively new guy and be the captain, be the guy that they're looking at?
You know, it doesn't feel any different just because I have been there all last year. I'm an older guy, and, you know, I spent the whole year with these guys last year, through everything. You know, I've been through every film session, every weight room, every practice. You know, I've said it before, I've been through a lot of wars with everybody on the team, so I don't feel like a new guy. I don't think they feel like I'm a new guy. You know, and having set out a year, I did everything with them, so just kind of stepping in and trying to step up as a leader whenever I can, you know, on and off the court.
What are your qualities of leadership?
I think, you know, I'm someone that can see the little things and notice maybe when some other younger guys don't, or even older guys. You know, I really have no problem just telling somebody, you know, you need to do this, you have to do this. For us to be successful, you have to play harder, or you have to, you know, you have to stop somebody on this play. You have to rebound. And then it goes on down the line. You have to be at class on time. You have to be, you know, get your weight room stuff done. You know, I don't really have a problem telling somebody that. And then I think guys on the team know, you know, I'm not someone who's just going to tell you to do something just because I feel like it. You know, I'm telling you for a reason. It's going to make our team better. It's going to help us out.
You get the sense that Shane's anxious to get back out there after sitting 2 games and play on Sunday?
Gotta be. You know, he's a competitor. He plays hard every single day, and I know him sitting on the bench and watching us play is not what he wanted to do. So, you know, as anybody would be, as any competitor would be, he's got to be itching to get out there.
How do you think he's taking this?
I think it's been a big learning experience. You know, he's nobody wants to sit out. So, especially when you know, I learned it last year. You don't want to be sitting out and still having to do all the hard work and go as hard as everybody else, and him even harder. So, I know he's got to be dying to get back out there, and I know he'll go hard when he does.
Is your conditioning personally as good as it's ever been? And if it's not, is it because of the layoff or because of what it takes to play here?
It is not as good as it's ever been. Right before I hurt my shoulder was the best shape I've ever been in. Just going through the entire season last year, and I was able to lift a little bit more than other guys were just because I wasn't playing. And that was obviously the best shape I'd ever been in. But I think, I got cleared to play a couple days before season started. And, I'd been conditioning and running, but there's such a difference between, going through a 3-hour practice where you've got to move and cut and hit people and rebound and do everything than it is to run, down and back 100 times or whatever it was. So I felt like I was in decent shape coming in, as good as I could be without actually being able to play. But, some days, if you take a couple bumps, it's going to hurt you more than, running those sprints. So it's definitely different. And Coach Pitino's style of play is very different as well.
What was your initial prognosis? How long did you think you were going to be out for? So you're cleared 2 days before practice. Was it supposed to be longer than that initially?
From what I've heard, it takes around 9 months to get back, 8 months to get back from a shoulder injury like mine. And I was cleared a little bit before 6. So, I passed all the tests and I did everything I needed to do to be cleared to play. But, I kind of figured I'd be a little bit ahead just because I was ready to put that work in, and I'd already had one shoulder worked on. So I kind of knew what to expect and what I could do and couldn't do.
Last year's team finished 6th in the country in defensive field goal percentage. How good was that team at defense, and can this team equal that?
They were obviously very good, with the ranking like that. We played a lot of zone last year, and we had a lot of smart players who could pick up that zone defense. And, I'm not sure we'll run that quite as much this year, but we're going to press a lot more. We're going to be in team spaces a lot more. We have I'd say we're a more athletic team this year. We can get after people. We have a lot more guys to bring into the game. So we can definitely be just as good as last year, if not better. And, that's what we're looking to do, improve on last year.
Coach Pitino said to play some point. You're not Peyton Cedar, that's a different style. What are the things that you bring to the table that can make you a good pointer?
I think I see the floor pretty well. I think I can pass the ball pretty well. And, if guys come and trap and press, I'm not, a 6-foot Peyton Cedar, I'm a 6'5" guy, so I can see over a lot of traps. I can see the floor pretty well. And, I try not to turn the ball over too much, just bringing the ball down the floor. Even if Russ brings the ball down the floor and gives it to me and I set us up in an offense or something like that, I feel like I can do that. I feel like my IQ is okay in basketball. It's good, so I feel like I can handle it.
Just one more and then we gotta go. Anybody
From
else?
when you watch film of Manhattan, how similar is it to you guys with Masiello and all that stuff? Do you go, wow, this looks kind of a lot like us?
A lot like us, especially as far as, they set a lot of back screens on offense and into pick and rolls, and guys are rolling and replacing and all that. Their offense is a lot similar, and then on defense, they're trying to cause havoc the whole time. They're going to press us the whole game, and we plan to do that, so, we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Luke. That's it.